Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Nature's Pickins.
The place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Nature's Pickins.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Michelle Higbee from Nature's Pickins, located on 464 Connellsville Street in Uniontown. The phone number at the store is 724-438-4211. That's 724-438-4211. Or the number here at the show today is 724-438-4593. If you have any questions for me or any comments, please feel free to give me a call, 724-438-4593. I will definitely try to answer your question, and if not, I will find the answer for you, and I will let you know either next week or if you call the store, I'll let you know then. A little bit about Nature's Pickins. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturday 9 to 3. That's Monday through Friday 9 to 4, Saturday 9 to 3. We give a senior citizens a 10% discount every day of the week on all regular priced items. So, if you come in, if you're 60 and older, we will give you a 10% discount. We have all different kinds of sales going on at the store. Nordic Naturals, for example, has quite a few things on sale. Solaray, like the Bone Collagen Complete, which is an excellent bone formula. It's on 20% off. Cran Actin, which is Demanos and cranberry for those of you that have urinary tract issues. The small one, I believe, is 20% off. Blue Bonnet, their targeted choice products like pain and inflammation, blood pressure, blood sugar, the liver detox are all 15% off, both either size, small or large. So there's lots of different sales when you come into the store. We try to keep some different sales going on all the time. We have everyday low price type things at the store. So stop in, check it out, and then check out all the new stuff too. We do have some, quite a few new different things in the store. I will tell you this, that we've had a string of bad luck with our freezers. We had 3 freezers, all 3 freezers. They're older. We've been in business 45 years. They're probably 40 or 43 years old, I would imagine. All 3 of them are broke down right at this moment. We do have a deep freeze in the back that all of our frozen stuff are in the back. So if you are interested in certain frozen things, we have a list of what we do have. Just let us know. We'll be more than happy to pull it out of the back for you. But yeah, until spring, I'm not even looking to replace those. So if you're looking for something frozen, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you with that situation. Okay, so I don't have a guest on with me today, but I'm going to be talking about digestion. Because I think it's an issue that a lot of people have issues with. Digestion is the essential process of breaking down foods or drinks into smaller molecules, and those, in such as nutrients, so that the body can absorb them into the bloodstream for energy, growth, cellular repair, whatever the body needs out of our foods. That's what digestion is. We have, digestion starts in the mouth. When you put food in your mouth and you chew it up, they always say chew your food 100 times. Break it down into smaller pieces, so when it goes down through the esophagus into the stomach, next step of digestion, breaking those foods down in the stomach, and then it goes into the small intestines. It gets broken down even more, and then, gets absorbed into the bloodstream, all these little micronutrients, so that it can be used throughout the body for whatever purpose. And then, the waste, of course, is thrown into the large intestines, where a little bit of digestion happens there as well. But then basically the elimination part of it. So the digestive tract, also known as the gastrointestinal tract, is a very long twisting tube, basically starting from the mouth, all the way, through. And a lot of people have, digestive, issues. Now, our different organs also play a major role in our digestion. The liver, for example, the gallbladder, the pancreas, they all produce different digestive juices like bile and different enzymes that help us break down our different foods like fats and carbohydrates and proteins. These organs assist in that. The pancreas produces pancreatic enzymes, so we need, to make sure that, all of these different parts of our body are functioning, properly to help us with, digestion. So many people come into the store and, will say, oh, I have such bloating issues. As soon as I eat something, it's like I'm 9 months pregnant, and it doesn't matter if you're a woman or if you're a man. I'm bloating so much. I don't kind of understand, what's going on. Or they'll come in and they'll say, oh, I have so much gas. And I'm not talking burping gas. I'm talking flatulence gas. I don't understand what is going on. Now, very seldom I have younger people come in, with digestive problems, but I do. I have, quite a few that have irritable bowel syndrome, for example. So this is a digestive issue as well. A lot of times, probably I would say 85 to 90% of the time, people that come in are older. I'm going to say 40, maybe even 35 and older, with these different digestive issues. Acid reflux is a big one. Lots of people with, acid reflux. Now, that is younger or old. I do have that issue with both. So, what can you do to help, digestion? Well, sometimes dietary changes is very important. Randy and I spoke last week about bluebonnet sun fiber being used to help with weight loss. Taking it before a meal can make you feel full, so that you end up eating less at that meal. So you're cutting your calories. And so therefore you're not consuming as much, and, your body should kick in and start burning what is stored. It's also prebiotics. So when you're taking probiotics or you're eating foods that are high in probiotics, fiber serves as that food for the probiotics. So sunflower fiber can do that as well. It works as a prebiotic. And Randy and I talked about that last week. Fiber, whether it's something like sun fiber or it's foods like, berries and whole grains and things, can help the digestive tract keep moving, so that you're moving that food, through it. One of my mentors years ago said that, fiber goes, into the gut and serves like a bottle brush, going through the gut, cleaning the intestinal tract so that you don't have that, buildup of food on the walls, of the intestinal tract. You want to make sure you're eating good sources of fiber. That's very important, for the digestive tract. But like I said, also to help be a prebiotic for those probiotics. So those probiotics, will grow and produce those postbiotics that do all of that good in the gut and then goes into the bloodstream and throughout the body, doing all of the benefits that probiotics or postbiotics can do for the body. You want to reduce, processed and fatty foods, greasy foods, fried foods. Those are just not good for you. They can cause heartburn. They can cause, indigestion. And if you already have a situation, let's say maybe acid reflux, those foods are just going to compound that situation, compound that indigestion that you're having. Highly processed foods are the same way. So you want to limit those types of food. Hydration. Randy talked last week about hydrate. We don't drink enough water. And then sometimes we just don't drink good water so that we're, getting those minerals and so forth from it. Like he talked last week, adding maybe an electrolyte powder to a bottle of water once or twice a day so that you're getting those minerals, those electrolytes that help to balance your electrolyte system, your nervous system, your electrical system in your body. Those minerals are very important, to our body. So hydration is extremely important, and it can help prevent constipation as well, because, if you're not hydrating enough, then, foods will absorb all that fluid within the gut, and then you'll end up getting constipated. So you don't want to do that either. So hydration is extremely important in that situation. And then, sometimes we're just dealing with things that cause stomach upsets. Maybe it's stress. You're in a stressful job, or you're in a stressful lifestyle, or maybe stress at home or stress at school. Sometimes that stress can cause, stomach upset or even constipation. So managing stress is extremely important if you're having digestive issues also. That can help to correct some of those issues. Managing portions when you're eating large meals. I remember probably 30 years ago, you'd go, out to eat, and, you had enough food that it made you feel full. And that was great. That was plenty. Now everything is overloaded, and they they made it large. Now they made it extra large. Now we went from a 10-ounce glass of pop to a 20-ounce glass of pop to a 32-ounce cup of glass of pop soda. So everything got increased that way. Well, we also then watched everybody's waistline increase. So managing portions is extremely important to reduce overeating, but reduce bloating, reduce different digestive issues, maybe reduce indigestion as well. Doing that is extremely important also. Exercise. Exercise is a gentle, consistent movement that helps digestion and can help relieve constipation. So you want to make sure that try to do exercise a few times a week as well. That can help that. Not wearing tight clothing can help with digestion. The tighter the clothing, the more problems that there can be. Don't lie down after eating. A lot of people come home and they hurry up and eat. Maybe they work long shifts and they go straight to bed. Big mistake. Especially if you have GERD or acid reflux. You want to be, not lay down for at least 2 to 3 hours after eating so that food digests, moves through the system. That's what it's supposed to, and that will help to prevent acid reflux. If you lie down right after eating, it's going to cause an issue, so you don't want to do that. Different issues that can happen, digestive issues, like I said, it can be acid reflux, GERD, heartburn. Some people have heartburn, but it's not acid reflux. Just once in a while, they get occasional heartburn. Might be because of the foods they're eating. Maybe it's citric fruit foods. Maybe it's spicy foods. Things like that. Even caffeines can cause, some heartburn. So eating smaller meals can help with that situation. Bloating and gas, people, like I said, talking about, they have, burping, they have bloating, or they have flatulence. There's different things that can help to relieve that pressure that's being caused by that situation, digestive issue also. And then constipation, we'll talk about that also. That can be a problem in itself when it comes to digestive issues. Or maybe you have irritable bowel, which can be either, IBC, which is constipation, or you could have IBS, or you could have, diarrhea, or you could have both. That a lot of people are suffering with today, digestive-wise. So that can be a digestive problem too. What foods can improve your digestion? Well, like I said, whole grains, not processed, not refined like white bread and pasta. You want whole grains that are high in fiber. Those are going to be higher in omega-3s, like flax, for example. It's going to be higher in omega-3, so you're going to get that, plus you're going to get fiber out of it as well. So, you want to make sure that you're adding whole grains to your diet. Leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, these types of things are going to be high in nutrients like vitamin K, vitamin C, folate, vitamin A. All of these nutrients are extremely important. They're also very important for gut bacteria. So, excuse me. So you want to make sure that you're incorporating them into your diet as well. Lean proteins. Lean proteins are really important, not things that are real high in fat, like, buy the steak with all the fat and, because the fat gives it a good taste. I understand that. I get that. Once in a while, okay. But people with IBS, for example, that is not a good idea. They need good, high protein, lean protein in their diet. So, I would try and stay away from high-fat foods because they can trigger contractions of the colon, cause some maybe loose bowel situations, diarrhea situations. So I would avoid high fat foods if you're having digestive issues. Eat low fructose type, fruits. Some fruits like apples and pears and mangoes, are high in fructose. If you're having digestive issues, then these fruits may cause you actually a problem. But on the other hand, berries, citrus fruits, oranges, grapefruits, they're lower in fructose and they may be easier to tolerate, and probably less likely also to produce gas. So I would try and incorporate maybe more of those types if you're having digestive issues like bloating, gas, things like that. I would use those type. Bananas are, I know that they have a high sugar content, but they are also fiber rich. They're high in what's called inulin. So if you're having digestive issues, bananas could help with, that, getting the growth of that good bacteria in the gut. So that might be one that you want to put in the diet. But now, if you're having diabetes, things like that, then you might want to watch how many bananas you actually consume. So once again, it's a moderation thing. Depending on what's going on with you, you need to look at what avenue to take. And always talk to your doctor about what's going on with you if you're having these digestive problems, and if you don't want to take medication, that's entirely fine and up to you. Talk to your doctor about it. There are things that you can use. I brought several things down today that we're going to talk about that possibly you could try to help with any digestive issues that you have if you don't want to do medication, but talk to your doctor. It's always wise to let your doctor know what's going on, what you're feeling, so, he or she can make the proper assessment of what's going on, with you. That's extremely important. So make sure that you do that. I'm not here to tell you to stay away from your doctor. I believe the medical society has a very important role in our lives. I believe medicines can have a very important role in our lives. And if we have to use them, then it's exactly what you want to do. That's why you discuss it with your doctor about what's going on with you and what you would like to or not try. Keep them informed. That's very wise to do. One of the things that possibly that you could use is a good digestive enzyme. I brought a couple down with me today. Life Extension carries one. It's called Extraordinary Enzymes. And then Biooptimizers, I've had Brian on. They have one that's called Mass Enzymes, and this actually is the one that I'm using right now occasionally, is the Mass Enzymes, and it works very, very well. Just certain things cause me an issue. And so, sometimes a digestive enzyme is a good thing to use. Tri-enzymes, if you remember, Michael talked about tri-enzymes. I've used tri-enzymes several times in the past. I like it also. It's made by actually a doctor that it's called Houston enzymes, and the doctor that's what he does, Dr. Devin Houston is an enzyme biochemist. And, so he designed tri-enzyme, and it works very, very well as a digestive enzyme. So what are digestive enzymes? They are nutrients, molecules, actually, that is a compound that facilitates the process of, digestion when your own digestive enzymes are not up to par. Basically, they're just not. You don't have enough of them. You're not producing enough of them. So digestive enzymes can help assist your body in, breaking these foods down. Enzymes are produced, like I told you, through our salivary glands, through our pancreas, in our guts. And sometimes we just don't have what we need. So we have to use something to help us with that. Why would we need them? Well, you would need them if you're having those issues, like I said earlier. Maybe you have heartburn, or you have gas, or you have bloating, and maybe you've cut down your foods. Maybe you started exercising, maybe you started hydrating, but you're still having digestive issues. It might be because you're not producing those enzymes that your body needs to break down those fats and proteins and carbohydrates in your food. And like I said, your mouth is the very first start of digestion. You want to make sure you're chewing your food. The saliva has enzymes in it to help break these foods down. And then, it moves into your stomach. And then, your pancreas and so forth produce enzymes to help you break these foods down. And then it goes into the small intestines. And like I said, then your probiotics and so forth, help there as well. Different foods do have enzymes, like pineapples, for example, have bromelain. It's a protease that is famous for helping with, joint health as an anti-inflammatory, but it is also a digestive enzyme. The three most common enzymes is amylase, protease, and lipase. Amylase is the digestive enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates. It starts working in the mouth from your very first bite. Protease is produced by the pancreas, and it breaks down protein with amino acids and peptides that your body can use for a different variety of different functions. Then lipase, as the name suggests, is used to break down fats in the diet. LIP for, fats, pro for protein, and then the amylase for carbohydrates. There's different enzymes as well. There's cellulase, there's, hemicellulase, there's lactase. Of course, everybody probably knows lactase because if you're lactose intolerant and you can't, break down the lactose in milk, you either use a lactase enzyme or avoid milk, of course, but most people, if they're just lactose intolerant, they'll take a lactase enzyme or they'll drink lactate milk, which has that enzyme added to it to help them break that down. So there's many different enzymes, and sometimes you see an enzyme that has multiple enzymes in it, like Life Extension, for example, the extraordinary enzymes has protease and amylase and lipase and cellulase and trypsin and, my goodness, pectinase. There's just so many of them that's in there. The same with the MAS enzymes. It's the same way. It has, but it also has bromelain in it. So cellulase and the beta glucanate. I mean, it has pancreatin enzymes in it. So, all of them are kind of different. If you're vegetarian, or maybe you're changing your diet and you're going to eat more vegetables, so you want to use something that has more of like the cellulase in it, to help you with breaking those foods down, or the pectinase, to help. Like the biooptimizers, MAS enzymes, has the pectinase. Not all enzymes have that in it. So maybe if you're trying to move away from, so much carbohydrates and so forth, and you're moving more towards vegetables, then that might be an enzyme that maybe you need to use for a period of time to help you break down these extra things that are, going on. How do you know if a digestive enzyme maybe is something that you need to use? Let's just say certain foods don't agree with you. There's sometimes that people say, oh, I had spaghetti last night, but oh my goodness, I rifted it all night long. So there's a chance that sauce just didn't agree with you. So maybe a digestive enzyme could have helped you with that problem. Or you get bloated after you eat, like I said at the very beginning of the show. I ate and I felt like I was 9 months pregnant. 20 minutes later, I just bloated, or it was an instant bloating. Maybe that's an issue. You're on a new healthy kick, like I just said. You're moving toward, being more of a vegetarian, or maybe you're just adding more vegetables and fruits to your diet. That cellulose sometimes is hard for the body to break down. We don't have those enzymes to help. So maybe a digestive enzyme can help, with it. You're going more towards a plant-based diet. That, a digestive enzyme may be the answer for you. Or you have a nervous stomach, or you're, under a lot of stress or whatever. Then sometimes, a digestive enzyme can help with that. So there's different reasons. And then, listen, if these problems consist for long periods of time, you absolutely want to get it checked out to see what possibly could be part of the problem. It never hurts to get a diagnosis of what might be going on if it's something that has become chronic. So keep that in mind too. But digestive enzymes do help tremendously. I've used them myself several times over the years to help with digestive issues, not just for me, but my husband and, my son, my nephew, my brother, different customers and so forth have used them. Digestive enzymes work very well. And when's the best time to use them? Usually before the meal. Try taking them 15 to 30 minutes, before a meal to help assist, your body's enzymes in breaking these foods down. Can you use them? Maybe you forgot to take them after a meal. Yes, you can. They can still help. I don't believe they'll help to the benefit of if you took them before, but they're absolutely going to help you to a certain degree. Can you take probiotics? I have a lot of people that ask me this. Can you take probiotics and enzymes together? Yes. And they will actually benefit being taken together. So there's no problem with that as well. And that, Dr. O'Hare's, which I brought down with me as well, is one of the best probiotics because it's a prebiotic, probiotic, postbiotic. So it's giving you that fiber that you need to feed that probiotic. So in turn, it produces those postbiotics to help in all that, different digestive or healing processes or whatever, we, our body needs. So, definitely make sure that you're doing a good probiotic if you're having digestive issues. Homeopathics too work really, really well. I have several people that use this by forces of nature. It's for heartburn, and it's for people that have acid reflux or upset stomach or heartburn type thing, just indigestion. And it's the homeopathics that combinational that helps them, and you just chew a couple of those tablets and it definitely helps that situation. Okay, so we talked about enzymes, of course, acid forming foods. If you have acid reflux, you want to, try and stay away from those foods that, would be triggering, your acid reflux. Some of the acid, forming foods would be, of course, alcohol, asparagus, believe it or not. A lot of people, we like asparagus, but it's very acid forming. Beans, Brussels sprouts, these types of things, cocoa, legumes, meats, milk, those are kind of all acid forming foods. So if you're having a problem with like acid reflux, you definitely probably should try to limit those foods. Now, and additionally, though, if you have, acid reflux, there are also foods that can help you. Honey, ginger, bananas, like I told you, papaya, they can all help to eliminate some of that acid reflux. Chocolate is a big one for triggering acid reflux. I have a lot of people that like chocolate and they're like, oh, but every time I eat it, that's the first thing that happens to me. It's one of those trigger foods. So I would avoid that. If you have acid reflux, you might want to change your eating habits. Always eat sitting up, not laying down. Do not go to lay down, directly after you eat. Make sure you're eating slowly and you're chewing your food. That makes a big difference. Don't do bedtime snacks if you have acid reflux, because that's just going to cause an issue too. And a lot of people that have acid reflux, they actually have to sleep in an upright position or a leaning like position. They can't lay flat because of the acid reflux. So you may have to, elevate yourself, elevate your head maybe, or even, sleeping on your stomach sometimes, can help. So you may have to alter those positions if you have acid reflux. Aloe vera, I have a lot of people that use George's aloe that have acid reflux, including my brother. And that helps him tremendously. If you smoke, acid reflux is usually triggered by it. So that might be something to kill two birds with one stone. Stop smoking and, lessen your chances of problems from the smoking, like lung issues, and then also maybe helping to alter your acid reflux as well. Different things you can use. Ginger. Ginger is one of those, spices that is very good for digestive issues. There's been several studies that's been done with ginger. For example, there was a 12-week study that was done with 480 milligrams of ginger extract, and it was showed to improve symptoms of pain and indigestion and reflux and constipation and enhance overall quality of life compared to the placebo that was given. One way ginger helps support digestive health is by increasing gastric motility. And that's a lot of problem with people. Their food is just not moving. So, the longer it sits there and it's linger, the greater chance you have of bloating and discomfort. So ginger can be something that you could possibly use to help that situation, if that's part of your issue. Excuse me. I'm talking a lot. Sometimes gives me a dry throat. Give me a second. Some other things, bananas, for example, like I told you, can, help counteract and neutralize stomach acids. So, eating a banana can help. It's more alkaline to the system. Papaya has an enzyme in it called papain, which speeds digestion by breaking down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So some people will use papaya as an alternative. Honey, like I said, Manuka honey is been shown to be really good for digestion, so you could use Manuka honey also. And then slippery elm is a compound that is rich in a compound called mucilage that coats the stomach and acts as a barrier to stomach acid. So a lot of people will use slippery elm, like take it before a meal, or they might use it in between meals to help that situation as well. So, different things that you can use. You can try digestive enzymes. You could, try aloe vera. You could make sure you're putting good probiotic like the Dr. O'Hare's into your diet. You could try the heartburn if you're having some acid reflux issues. Apple cider vinegar is another one that a lot of people will use before they eat. They'll mix it with water. A lot of times digestive issues is because you don't have that stomach acid. So they'll use apple cider vinegar with the mother. Make sure it has the mother. The mother is good bacteria, so it's going to help in that respect as well. So you could use that before you eat. Try that if you're having these different issues. Sauerkraut is one of those foods, that a fermented food that's high in probiotics. So that's something that you could add to your diet as well. A lot of people will add kimchi because it is a fermented, basically sauerkraut cabbage meal, cabbage food that has, probiotics in it. And they have, up to about 28 different types of probiotics in kimchi and sauerkraut. So that's something that you could, add into your diet as well. There's, lots of different things that we can talk about. I know I'm running out of time, but just real quick, peppermint is real good. Chamomile helps to calm the stomach and the anxiety, so that can help. Cloves has been shown to help with, digestion as well. But, just remember if you're having gas issues, carbonated drinks is probably not going to be your friend. So I would stay away from those. Try adding some fiber, some water, hydrate into your system, to help move that food as well. Okay, any questions? Give us a call at the store. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. WMBS Uniontown.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
For funeral services from pre-need to at-need, burial or cremation, call Gates Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 1